recap for January 13th. So we'll start with pre-market because there was actually a pretty good setup pre-market. I don't know if anyone traded pre-market. I know we have talked about staying away from pre-market for the past couple of weeks, but this is a bigger time frame play. This was this long, right? This long, where was it? Right about here. Look at this beautiful long setup. So on the hourly, we hit our key, or 15, my fault. On the 15, we hit our key 4-hour level, right? First things first. What are we also doing? We are opening up, right? What we would want to see is our RSI start to flatten out and bottom out, which we did here, and then that's where we actually got this full pop. And this was near, wait, was this the one? Yesterday, 15, yeah, this is the one from yesterday, right? Yeah. Okay, so let me just double check this one. So this is the setup we caught, or I caught. A lot of people caught this if you were texting, but I entered at 8:49, and the reason why I entered there was because of this, right? This wick low area is where I wanted my entry to be. I put my limit order at that area because that's where the candle actually opened, and I didn't know if we were going to come all the way down to that wick low area. I did size really small on this because I was playing the big picture, right? So our 15 was bottomed out. Our hourly was also at trauma, right? And we were approaching median. And then our 4-hour was, that's median as well, right? So this is basically where we have to hold. If not, it's not going to look too good for us going into NY. And then we did end up bouncing. I personally TP'd at 89. TP'd a bit early. It did end up ripping a lot more, but I was just I wasn't planning to swing this into a New York session, so I TP'd right around this area here, which was a pretty good TP, right? TP hit, and after that, any other setups on Nasdaq? Not really. Personally, I didn't play anything after that. It was a lot of chop, and then we got our CPI move at 5:30, right? It was news day today, so it was kind of decently volume filled before news came out, and then we get this insane rip of doom here. We get a almost 110 point candle in 1 minute, and then we approach what? Our key area of yesterday, right? Look at our highs of yesterday, and that's where we actually end up projecting. And realistically speaking, if you're trading any of this, you are basically, you know, lottoing any of this because you don't have any data, you don't know what's happening at this area. But now, once New York Open is actually coming, you do have some key points to keep an eye on. First of all, we're going to have our pre-market high, right? It's going to be a point area. This is why pre-market highs are very important. So now you have your pre-market high, and then you have the area where you bounced when you pulled back from that pre-market high, right? That's this little area here. And you can see when market opens, we actually pull back to that area, and we actually hold that area, right? And we actually get our pop to that retest. So if for some reason you were to play this pop, you would have been trimming here because we are approaching our previous high and pre-market high, and then, you know, your 1 minute is topped out. I personally didn't take this. I'll show you guys the first setup I took, but this was a potential setup you could have taken. I know a lot of people trade right at open. So first of all, if you were taking this long, you're 100% trimming here. There's confluences for shorts here, possibly because your 1 minute is topped out, previous RSI high there, and then this 5 minute was also, you know, approaching the top of the band again once again, and we actually did end up rejecting, and then we created a little bit of a bearish divergence here, right? Failed to break these highs, and then we flattened out, and then we actually do end up failing to close above that level, right? We created a lot of liquidity here. First, we failed to close, and then we failed to close again. And yeah, this was pretty bearish double top, pretty straightforward setup. And then, I mean, there was really no other entry up until, I'd say, down here when we took out these lows. You could probably took it from 950 all the way down to this like 892 area, and then your RSI started opening up more and more. We ended up dumping. We broke this bottom trend line here, right? Take out that 892 level as well, and then we keep fleshing. And I personally was not looking for longs up until this area, right? And let me explain why. So before I took that long, I actually got stopped out like 2 times before I got in the right position. Let me show you guys why. So first setup I took was this long right here, right? I tried playing this initial long here. We started breaking these highs, and then we did get a small pop, but then I ended up getting stopped at break even. And once I got stopped at a break even, what did our RSI do, right? It had topped out, rejected this RSI level. We are now immediate. So when that did happen, I actually flipped short, right? But here's the thing, I flipped short right around, what was it, 825 area, right here when we broke this low. And, yeah, right here. And I did see some green, right? But the age pattern did actually fail, right? And a clear reason why that was is if you look at our lows, look at our median, right? We held median on the 1. This is actually just a fake out. And I actually ended up getting stopped out right around this 849 area. But just because I got stopped out didn't mean, I'm not going to try to play along, because now my original position is now validated again. Reason being, we failed to take out this low, right? We tried to, failed to do so, and now we're breaking back over our 1-minute highs. So I actually did end up taking a long when we broke above trauma. Remember, your stop losses should technically be entries for other points, because like if you're putting your stop loss there, it means because you think price will actually reverse there, not just for the love of the game, right? I'm not putting it there for no reason. If we broke back above these 1-minute wick highs, I doubt we would fully, reverse back up. And we did, and then I ended up catching this long. I did trim at this previous high, so I took one trim here, and then I fully TP'd at this 891 area. And then, for the next area here, I tried playing a short in this area and just got stopped at a break even like 2 times. And then I did lock myself out. That's what I was talking about for 15 minutes. I locked myself out during this period. And the thing is, I was looking for this short, and then we ended up getting that short. It was quick wick, but the short I was looking for did end up playing out. The main reason I was looking for that short is our RSI was lower and our price was going higher, and we were approaching median. I was expecting a little reset on the 1. I was trying to catch a little scalp to the downside, and then I was overall bullish, so that's why this was more a scalp. I wasn't looking for full reversal. After we failed to break these lows, I was more leaning towards longs, but I was looking for a quick short here, and then I did miss that short, and then after that I also missed this long because I was still locked out, sadly. We took out these highs, and then we got our full rip. This was a 1-minute reset, right? Now we're breaking median, we're breaking these highs. And then this was also a break of 5-minute median when we broke those highs, right around this area. What was it? Right here. After that wick, we broke 5-minute median, right? That's also why I wanted to play that short back here, was because we were at 5-minute median. We did reject and chop around the RSI level this whole time. And we fully got our RSI break here. Then we broke median, RSI level, and then this whole rip up, I didn't really see no entries for a long or anything. So I was like, damn, it looks pretty good. Our bands were opening up on the 5-minute and 15, and we had room up to this RSI level at the time. So when we approached this level, before we approached this level, I already knew this was going to be a key level. I originally wanted to take a short, but what made me not want to take a short at this level was that our bands were opening up on the 5 and 15, right? When our bands are opening up on the 5 and 15, it's showing more room up. And especially since there was no major pullbacks there, it looked like buyers were in control. So instead of looking for that short that I originally wanted, I did actually start looking for a long when we started chopping at that high. And then I filled my first position down here, which was honestly a pretty good fill because I saw some profit, and then we chopped that trauma. Honestly, when we started chopping at trauma, I should have put my stop loss to break even. And then I actually ended up getting stopped out. I had my stop loss at, what was it? It was like 890 or 990. Yeah, I ended up getting stopped out here. And then we got this massive dump. The issue was I re-entered way too early. I took another long entry, and this was a bad entry. I ended up taking one around this wick low area, 969 area. And then I gave myself a pretty wide stop. We got this fat dump here. And then, after we got this big wick here, so I wanted to set a stop here. I had a mental stop here. And then this wick actually happened so quick that I wasn't even able to close it. So after that wick came back up, I just put a hard stop at these wick lows at 941. Then I ended up getting stopped out here. That was really bad. This was I was really green on the day, and this put me basically break even on the day. And then I took a loss here. We ended up breaking that low. In reality, I shouldn't have been longing this because, first of all, we're under 1-minute median here, right? We're rejecting our RSI level. We're making lower lows, lower highs. Clearly, rejecting 1-minute trauma. We were also breaking 5-minute median here, right here, right? Rejecting our RSI level. and then we fell to break this high. We created this wick, lower high. So there was clearly bearish sentiment, and I was looking for longs when I shouldn't have been looking for longs. If anything, the area where I should have looked for longs was 5-minute trauma, this initial one, and then from there, you would have got your pop, and then from there, stop loss break even, and then it would have ended up breaking. I just played this whole area really bad, forced too many entries when I should have just waited for the better entry. And then yeah, so got stopped out of that, and then we came over here, didn't really catch none of this. Then this happened, right? And then I tried another long. This one was kind of cheeky. Tried another long here when we started consolidating here. Took it at the break of this. We did see green. I got edged on my trim and trimmed nothing out of this, and then I actually ended up getting stopped at a break even, which is really annoying. And then we broke this bottom trend line, and then I missed the short. I should have took the short. That was my issue today. I was leaning towards longs when I should have just played the shorts. I mean, I took like one short setup when there was way more short setups than long setups. So then we get this dump, and I missed this dump as well. But I actually was able to catch this long, so I got a really good entry on this long. It was 831. Yeah, it was 831. This was when Trump was talking. I'm not gonna lie, a big reason why I took this long was everything Trump was saying was bullish, and then your RSI was bottomed out on the 1 minute, and you were at your key level. So I had a hard stop set under these wick lows. It was like 20-point stop. I was willing to risk it just because Trump was speaking and he was talking really bullish about everything. Like, it was actually crazy. He was literally telling people about like buy stocks. Like, he was like, so I was like, nah, hey, if bro's telling me, I'm gonna listen. And I was able to catch this pop. I actually TP'd perfectly on this one, like at 8. It was like 875. And then after that, we did end up breaking those lows. Then we got this setup. This setup was very interesting. I also was able to bottom tick this one. This was like actually insane. I got an 805 fill on this long. The reason why I took it was because of this level, our lows, bottom trend line, and our 1 minute was bottoming out our side level. And then I did end up trimming at 830 and then fully TPing at 850. This ended up ripping all the way though. I should have just held. This was a 100-point rip at close. And yeah, this was pretty solid setup. That setup was kind of presenting itself all during Trump's speech, especially on this 5 and 15. If you come over here, you'll see like this whole time Trump was speaking, right? He was trying to break median, and it did break median. That's when we got our pop. Then did it come back under and start chopping. And then we ended up bouncing at this RSI level down here and created some liquidity, and then we got a full reversal there, and then our band opened up. And then our 15, there was this key level on our, if you guys have your 15-minute RSI levels, put these levels, dude. I'm telling you, they're crazy. Like, they were crazy good today. It's 39.68 is pretty solid, and this 48.45 is also really solid. When we did break those that area, we did get our full rip, and then we had this bottom divergence that we kind of held on the 15 during that whole time Trump was speaking. So let's me draw it right there. So I'd say the best setup of the day was probably this short up here. I missed that one. These longs down here. This was probably the play of the day. These longs, and then this long was a lot riskier just because it was during power hour and it was like 30 minutes till close, but it did end up playing out. And then this short up here, I missed this short. I should have played this short. I missed this one. It's a pretty solid setup as well. And it's a lot of confluences for a lot of trades today. It was pretty high volume. What was this, like a 200-point range? 808, yeah, 200-point range. So there's definitely a lot of day trades. I did slightly end the day green, barely though, because of the trades I ended up taking it at near end of the day. But it should have been a lot greener than it was because there was a lot of setups that presented themselves. I just played them pretty badly. Should have been played a bit better. But yeah, that's all the setups I took and saw for the day. I don't know if that kind of makes sense for all of you guys. If you guys have any questions about any of the setups we took.
I got a question.
Yes, Mr. Matt?
Are we gonna full pour PPI tomorrow?
No, we are not going to full port PPI tomorrow.
I think I am though.
Okay, you feel free to do so, buddy.
Wait, I actually might do that with you, bro. I got you.
Okay, we got a bunch of jackasses.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
If it makes sense, I will.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna full port my funded, bro. I got you.
there's a decent setup, you know.
Okay, do we have any real questions?
Let me see. Fuck, I dropped my phone, cuz. Not really.
I
think,
everything. I think we'll go TP hit.
Yeah, I don't got no questions.
Are you on long right now for gold?
I'm short. No, I'm not doing
Is there an example? Like I'm still stuck on that the price divergence she was talking to me about earlier.
Okay, let me see if I can find an example. What the fuck happened to my gold chart, bro? Am I tripping?
You're on NQ price.
No, this is MGC. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it's at 28,000.
That's what I'm saying. What the hell? It's all the way down here.
No way, we took the same short. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, boy.
I'm in at 612, 16.2 though.
Okay, just don't set my stop.
I think a
loss.
long would look good at 5-minute median would look pretty nice on gold for a long. Or TP,
Yeah.
right?
Probably
610.
15 median.
I just took that because it's RSI level on the 15.
Yeah, there's a 15-minute order block, that's why I entered.
How's it called? What was I gonna say? Oh, price divergence is cryptic. Let me see if I can find any of today. The only one I could kind of think of is this one. We had this like bottom divergence / bottom trend line, right? You look at RSI, look at where our first wick low was, where we bottomed out. Second time we come to this low, RSI is now higher. We're at our RSI level now, right?
Yeah.
So this is a bullish divergence, but the thing is, just because it's a bullish divergence doesn't mean it's gonna, go up. Because what could end up happening is you could always break these divergences. Say we would have broke this low right here, right? That would have been a bearish confluence because now you're breaking that, and then that's a clear short indication. Same thing up here, right? Same thing. We have our bottom divergence now fully formed here. If you're breaking these lows here, like if this candle would have closed into this wick low, we would have fully H pattern and probably dumped the full way. So that's why trading these is kind of tricky, just because you gotta be really careful with not getting caught in fake outs. Because I got caught in that fake out that I explained earlier on that short, right? I thought we were gonna break that.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna break this RSI level on this little RSI divergence. I thought we were gonna come down, but ended up fully flipping and holding that area instead. And then you can see when it did hold, you got your full reversal to the upside. I mean, that was like a 200-point reversal almost. So if you're playing these divergences, they're literally usually at make or break points. So you gotta be very, very careful with your stop losses.
Okay. Yeah,
So what are you targeting on gold?
Say again?
What are you targeting on gold?
I think my TP already hit. Oh no, it's about to 11.8. I think we got more downside.
Where'd you get that from though?
I don't even know. I think we got more downside, but I'm just gonna.
You're gonna cut it short and let the whole thing run?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's the trauma area and the wick low area. I would honestly TP at 611. 611 area, but I put it at 611.8 just in case it doesn't get there.
All right.
Yeah, 611 is probably where I would TP. It's 5-minute median though already, so I might hold here. It's not too good. I'm actually gonna move my stop to profit now, or break even actually. What is trauma at 14.8? Yeah, I'm just gonna put a break even for now. See if this holds. But yeah, I think that's it for the trades for today. Gold, didn't really trade gold today at all. Did take a pre-market trade. It was over here. It was off this. It was a short. What was the short? I don't remember my exact entry to be honest on that short, so I can't really go over the trade. Which one was it? Yeah, I don't remember my exact entry, but there was a nice short setup on gold yesterday. Where was it? It was over here.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
This isn't really like day trading, but like you holding any like oil stocks? I know it's like last week's news, but like
nah, I don't have any oil stocks.
Okay.
No oil.
Just curious.
Yeah. So this is the gold short I took. It was off the break of this trend line, break a 5-minute median, and then you rejected 5-minute trauma and your wick highs here, right? I actually got edge on my stop loss. I was so close to getting stopped down on this one. It fully reversed. I was like, hell yeah. I literally had my stop loss at these wick highs. It fucking perfectly rejected. My entry was down here at trauma area, so I saw a little bit of red, like 4 points of red, but I did end up rejecting, and then we got a full dump there. That was pretty solid. That was like 15 points. So nice setup that was there. And this long ended up playing out after. I missed that one. But yeah, I think that's about it for trades I took yesterday. Does anyone have any questions on any of those setups or any setups that you guys potentially saw that I didn't mention that you think was a good setup that I should have went over? What was it about the CPI news that made the bullish candle? To be honest, I don't know. I didn't personally think that news was that bullish, but I guess everyone else thought it was bullish. CPI came out lower than expected, meaning people were spending less money than expected. They expected 0.3 and it came out at 0.2. I thought that was kind of bearish, but I don't know.
Talk about that initial pump.
Yeah,
Could just be the institutions manipulating the price
could have
to get a
been.
better
Yeah.
entry fill on shorts.
Yeah,
What's
it came
your
out less than expected.
what's your stance on the Jews and Israel?
All right, bro. Okay.
Ban 'em.
Yeah, we're gonna end the video here.